Hello, I'm Bill Ferguson. You can be right or you can have love, but you're never going to have them both. Because when you're being right, in order to be right, you have to make the other person wrong, and that very profoundly destroys love. But when you have love, who cares who's right? Being right and having love, they're opposites. And you can have one or you can have the other, but you're not going to have them both. Here's a classic example of this. Years ago, I had a relationship with this lady, and anytime there would be a problem in the relationship, she would come up and then genuinely, she would say, "I'm sorry, will you please forgive me?" Well, how can I continue to be upset at her when she does that? It would melt my heart. It would take the wind out of the sail. You know, I just couldn't be upset. Now, it wasn't a matter of was she right or wrong. It wasn't a matter of should she be forgiven or not. You know, those were all things of the ego. She could care less about that. The only thing that she was interested in was getting the love back in the relationship. And it worked. And then what would happen was that after a while, I would start doing the same thing. And then it got to a point where anytime there would be a problem in the relationship, we would race to see who would ask for forgiveness first. We had that experience of love in our relationship. And it didn't matter who was right. Here's another thing about being right. When you're being right, you are stuck in a single point of view. And when you're stuck in a single point of view, you're stuck with a single possibility. But when you can look at the exact same situation from a bunch of points of view, it creates a bunch of different possibilities. So when you're being right, you're destroying your options. You're destroying your ability to see what works. You're destroying your ability to be effective. So let go of being right. Now, if it's important for you to be right, you want to look at why. We're never driven towards something. We're always driven from something. So if somebody needs to be a success, they're running from failure. If somebody needs a loving, supportive relationship, they're running from the hurt of not worth loving. If somebody needs to be right, they're running from the hurt of that they're wrong. And then underneath that is that deeper childhood hurt of feeling stupid. So to avoid that hurt of feeling stupid and being wrong, they have to be right, which then destroys love, creates opposition and resistance against them, and then in their running from that hurt, they're going to create a whole world of people telling them how wrong they are. So whatever our hurt is, we keep creating it. So if it's important for you to be right, find what the hurt is that fuels it. Heal that hurt so that you no longer have to be right. Literally, we can be right or we can have love, but you're never going to have them both. And personally, I would much rather have love.